UXO, gay? Hey Rockstars, welcome back to the videospot.net. My name is Owen, and today I'm going to be talking about this new term and this new phrase that we're seeing called UXO. What is it and how can you take advantage of it? Let's talk a little bit about that. UXO stands for User Experience Optimization. And at Traffic and Conversion this year, Perry Belcher, big time guy, gets on stage and he says, SEO is dead. Now, I think a lot of what he was saying was inflammatory, right? It's designed to kind of get your attention. And I don't particularly care for those types of statements because SEO is never going to die. Search engines need to know how to read your site. But how they value your site is changing. And that's something that you need to know about, and that's where UXO comes in, all right? And you know, you've heard UX, right? User experience, and UI, the user interface. User experience optimization refers to what you can do to your web pages to enhance the user's experience. And really what that is to get them to engage with your page. So let's talk about some of the basic things that you can do on your page starting today to kind of get people working with your page and engaging with your page a little bit more. First of all, let's take a look at your basic web page where you've got kind of like the top of the fold is right here and you've got some content, maybe you've got some sidebars. None of that stuff really matters to me right now. But essentially, how can you get people to engage with the page without leaving your page or going somewhere else? You've seen a lot of this on mobile. Okay, so let's say that you've got some type of list post or even really a good content-based post, but you know, you've got to kind of like click a little arrow to read more, right? I've seen this on actual web pages too, where it's like, you know, click to read more. We're only going to show you the first part of it, click to read more. There are plugins that you can get on WordPress to make this happen for you. So that's one thing that you can do, is click to read more. Kind of, it's like gating your content. Here's another thing, is putting your big content, well, let me do this one first. Putting your big content underneath the fold, right? So let's say, and we're doing this is what we're doing in VideoSpot. Let's say that this is your web page here, and you've got a video here, and it's kind of like, you know, video, you know, on something you want to see, and you show part of the video above the fold. Well, they're gonna have to scroll and engage with your page in order to see that video, and that's how you could structure your content. And it could be an image. It could even be, you know, the number one thing and then the number one thing. But putting something below the fold so they can see it, but they have to scroll up to it, that's another thing. How about keeping them on your page longer and scroll. That's huge. Infographics are great with that. So what if you do an infographic, and if you notice, a lot of infographics today are being kind of built like this, right? But let's just like double down, right? What if you've got something like this, where this infographic is, you know, you scroll 3-4 times. But not only do you scroll 3-4 times, you're actually kind of like, you know, you're reading this and then reading that and then reading this and then reading that. And all of these are just based on stats, right? It's just like some factual information about an industry or a product or a service or whatever the case might be. So infographics are huge. And you know, just in transparency, this is not something we have had the time for yet at VideoSpot, but we're very, very interested in it. Multiples, list posts, right? The 25 things, the 36 things. This is something that we are doing. Go beyond the number 10. Experiment with 25 things, and you've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? All the way down that page. We have seen that the longer the post is, the more the longer they'll stay on the page. So if you have a smaller list, they won't engage as voraciously. But if you have a bigger list, they'll scroll through that whole dang thing. And you know, you keep it simple for them. You know, a little headline and you know, some text about it. So list posts are really, really big to enhance your user experience. Voting. I've just installed a rating widget through WordPress, and I'll put the link in it below, that they can rate the content, and then the content would actually have 3, 4, 5 stars in the search engines in the metadata. So that's really important. Here's one. Designing your page, something like this, right? Where this is like a big giant image and it's like the best is yet to come. And then an arrow pointing down, and they click that and they scroll. You know, the page automatically scrolls, or it just tells them to scroll. So you're kind of, and then maybe you've got some content down here, and then again, another arrow, right? And you'll need to have a responsive website that can kind of, where you know how to build this, and you'll want to build one template and then repeat that template over and over again. Fantastic idea, by the way, for your main pages in your website. Moves away from kind of the sidebar theme, which we like and we're gonna continue to use, but definitely something interesting to look at. So, and then of course, video. You know, having video playlists, you know, on your page. Now, why is that important? Because if you've got like 10 2 or 3 minute videos on your web page, and it's content that they're interested in, you're going to get a lot of time out of them, and that increases your time spent on page, which user engagement. They're engaged with your page. So putting a video down there, the time spent on page and your scroll rate, these are all things that contribute to your UXO, right? The user experience optimization. And those are the things that you want to play with and experiment with in order to put, you know, more people to get to the top of the search engines more, because Google will value your web page more if they see that you're engaging with it more. This is very, very high-end, cutting-edge stuff. Nobody's really talking about it because nobody's really caught up to it yet. So I'm getting a lot of what I'm hearing from some of the masterminds and the conferences that I'm going to, that I'm paying big bucks to go to, and then I'm coming here, sitting in front of my camera for hours. It's literally been like 3 hours. I busted out a ton of videos today on some of this stuff. So I hope that you're getting value from it. I hope you'll subscribe. And if you want to see some kind of like the inside workings of what I'm doing here, you can download my swipe file where I've put all my wireframes and all my web page designs. Anything that converts at 30 to 40%, not everything, but a lot of it, is in this swipe file. You can go to my web page, click on the link on your screen, or it's in the description box if you're on mobile. You can download that, check it out today. If it's your first time on the page, I want to thank you for joining us today at thevideospot.net. Subscribe, man, become a part of this, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Check out our other videos, do all those things, engage with our page. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.